Well, today is the day for me to sew the Casa pattern from our sew sampler box that came earlier this summer. I am going to sew this with you guys because a few of you said you would like to see me sew it. So today I'm going to sew it and we're going to go step by step. And if you're a beginner that is getting the sew sampler box and you don't have a lot of stash, this pattern does not require a lot of background. You're going to use all your layer cake. It came with 20 layer cake. You're going to use all of it except for one. This pattern, it is exclusive to the box, so you cannot get it. I'm so sorry if you didn't get the box, but for some of those people that said they would like to see me sew the quilt, so I'm going to do that today. But the first thing we're going to do is cut our fabric. I've already cut that. These are my cutting. The layer cake is the fruit cocktail. It's by Joanna Figueroa, and this is it right here. You can get the layer cake itself from Fat Quarter Shop website. They do sell it, and you can look for a similar pattern on their website as well to kind of mimic what this one looks like. So this one looks like this, but for today we are sewing the house. We're going to start out sewing the house, and then when we meet again, we will sew the segments. The segments are, which is this right here. So we will sew that, and then after we're done, we will quilt this. I will quilt this on my domestic machine. And that being said, I will do my free motion quilt on my domestic machine on the Juki, the 2200 QVP mini. I will do it on there. This is just an introductory to free motion quilting. In case you're not good at it, you got to start from somewhere, okay? So with that being said, let's start out by sewing the house only. And then when we meet again, we will finish the quilt and put all the other segment around the house. So this is the kind of, this is like the cornerstone of our quilt, and that's where we're going to start. I want to give you time to cut your squares and then to cut your HST. So when we meet, we will be ready to go to tackle the entire quilt. And then we'll come back again and free motion quilt, okay? And if you have not subscribed yet, please support me by subscribing down below so we can continue having fun. All right, let's start. So what we're doing is taking our long piece right here, and it is the old piece. We're going to take our rectangle. We're going to take another rectangle and add it to our square. I did follow the exact color pattern that was suggested to us in the picture and in the pattern. I'm going to connect this two right here, sew them. And the background that I'm using for this quilt is the 9900 60, and that is the closest cream Bella Solid to the Fig Tree cream. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to take the next piece, which is our another rectangle, longer piece. I'm going to connect it and sew it. I'm going to finger press open for now. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of heat later. So this is sewn together, and we're going to take that old piece and we're going to connect. We're going to sew this from end to end, and then we have completed the first segment of the house. These two are done for step one. So we're going to sew our roof on, and we have two of this rectangle from the red floral like these, and we're going to sew them both together now. And we have this all completed. Now with this one, it doesn't really matter which direction I press, so I'm going to press this one to the side, okay? So the next step right now, what we're doing is taking our L piece and we're going to do snowball on both sides. So what I'm doing now is taking this square and putting it to the end right here. Then I'm going to sew from the left corner to the bottom right corner, okay? So I'm gonna come to the other side and I'm going to sew from the upper right corner to the bottom left corner, okay? I sew another seam right here because I would like to save this for an HST later on. So I have another HST right here, okay? So what I'll do is cut right here, and I've already sewn this to save me some time. The roof is pressed. Now you can see where we're going with this right now. So this is how it's going to look so far. We have the top done. So now we're going to do the body of the house, okay? So for the body of the house, we're going to sew two identical pieces. We're going to sew the first section first. We're going to take our D piece and we're going to take our yellow. We're going to take our two blues for the side. It's going to look like this. We're going to take another rectangle. We're going to sew these right here first, and then we're going to connect this top, and then we're going to connect this bottom piece. We're going to sew two exactly like this, okay? I already complete the midsection for the first one. Since we need this for the second piece, I'm going to put it over here so I don't get confused. All right, now I think the cherry is facing the wrong direction. So let me fix it. So now what I'm doing is just sewing these. So this first segment is done. I'm going to do the other segment that look exactly the same like this. Okay. Now that both of our body of the house is sewn together, make sure when you go construct your house that the cherry fabric are facing upward that way, okay? So two of them are done right there. And then we're going to construct the door. So we're doing the door. We're getting our yellow piece of fabric and we're going to get another blue piece of fabric and we're going to sew just straight line. So I've completed the door. The next step now is to construct the house. So what I'm going to do is use the mini design board and construct the house. Here's what we're looking like right now, okay? This is the top piece that we made earlier. This is the middle piece. This is the house, and then we're going to take another O piece and put it down that way. I'm going to construct the body right now, and then we'll come back and assemble it. I have connected this right here, and this right here together. The next step is to connect this right here to here, and then connect the chimney piece to the roof, and then we'll be done. I am going to pin because I don't want my fabric to shift and then make it look like it was uneven, because when the feed dog pulls, it will tend to pull at a different rate sometimes. And when you get to the end and realize you have not pinned, it'll look uneven. And I don't want that. So as a beginner, because I have a number of beginner sewer or beginner quilter following me, this is something that will come over time. I used to not pin. I'm not a big pinner, but you will learn that some area you will need to pin and have to pin, and some areas you really don't have to pin that much. But for this, I think it's necessary to pin because it's a long piece and it will be nice for your fabric to kind of look and line up. So the roof is sewn on. The next step is sewing up the chimney. And again, because it's a long piece of fabric, I'm going to pin to make sure that my fabric lines up. We're going to sew the bottom piece on, and we are going to be done with this house. This is what our Casa, the house, looks like. This is the house all completed. This is the centerpiece of the entire quilt. I wanted to do this first just to give you enough time to get everything all ready and set up and cut. And when we meet again, we are going to put our HST and then the surrounding segments together, and then we will quilt. We would do free motion quilt on our quilt. Okay, with that being said, I will love for you to subscribe to my channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button down below to support me in what I'm doing. Thank you so much if you are subscribed. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I would love to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.